Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Rockingham for Race 3 in the Season 2/2018 NRSL Aces Republic of Gamers Truck Series season. What we've seen through two races at Daytona and Atlanta is that these guys are a lot more aggressive than the Cup drivers, and some of the Cup drivers have been running in this series. Now, on the pole for the race tonight is one of your final four drivers in the Cup Series heading into next week at Homestead. They just finished the race at Pensacola a night ago. Johnny Gardner on the pole for this race. Can he break the stigma that is the pole sitter curse right now? We look at the standings after two races. Philip Goldberg, the defending champion, is 39th in points after getting the pole at Daytona, while Alexander Rowe, who was in the big one last week at Atlanta after getting the pole, is 37th. Next to Gardner is another Cup driver, James Qualls. Row 2 sees another Final Four Cup driver, Jonathan Zorlin, along with rookie Nathan Hudson. Row 3 is Keith Rich and John Nunn. Row 4, we've got Samet Oskin and RJ Reynolds. And in row 5 is your Daytona winner, Charles Sanford, with Nate Rogers. So two more Cup drivers there as well. Going through the rest of the field. Let's see, any notables? Cole Deaver also making the Final Four. The only Final Four driver not in the Truck Series race today is Seth Goal. Also, those four drivers, Deaver rookie in the Trucks, also in Cup. Deaver going to try and go for that championship. There's Alexander Rowe. We mentioned his bad luck. There's Ace Rogers, Dylan Young, who won last week. By the way, Dylan Young in two Truck Series races at Atlanta. I thought it sounded familiar. Dylan Young won the Atlanta race in 2017 for the Truck Series. So 2 out of 2 Atlanta races in the Trucks. Dylan Young is the sweeper. He's got Colin Phillips next to him. Let's see, Danny Jones, Joshua Sekuli. There's Philip Goldberg. Jay Bishop. Zach Rogers, I believe, is second in the point standings. I've verified that. He is third in the point standings, I'm sorry. Yeah, speaking of the point standings, so let's take a quick look at the point standings here before this race begins. Cole Deaver is your current points leader after two races. Him and Zach Rogers, the only drivers with a top 10 in both race. Samet Oskin sits second in points. 2 points behind Deaver. Rogers is 3 points back. Fitzwater sits fourth, 4 points back. Jesse Turner rounds out the top 5, 6 points back. Rest of the top 10 is RJ Bishop, Charles Jackson, RJ Reynolds, John Nunn, and Ace Rogers. With that said, let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
All right, well, the fun doesn't start until we ask our drivers a question. Are you ready? Drivers, will you please start your engine?
So the Cup Series race here about a week or two ago saw some crazy tire fuel strategy stuff going on. They could make it 40 laps on a set of tires, but the big thing here tonight is, will these trucks use the same amount of fuel? Will we see the same amount of tire wear? Will we see a green flag race? Because in two races in the Truck Series, we have not seen that. So it'll be interesting to see if this is a two-stop race or a one-stop race, depending on how the flags fly. Green flag is out. We're underway here at Rockingham. Johnny Gardner will lead lap 1. A couple of Chevys moving their way up towards the race leader. Jonathan Zorlin leads them. Keith Rich, Samet Oskin, second in points entering the race tonight. To see Charles Sanford, your winner from Daytona. Speaking of your race winners, they sit 12th and 13th in the point standings. Young 12th, Sanford fell down to 13th with his poor finish last week. But it looks like they are ready to rebound. But Oskin currently showing himself to maybe be the man to beat for this title. However, Cole Deaver is also up here, just inside the top 10. As he passes James Qualls there, I believe that's for 9th. I could be mistaken. Might be for 8th. We'll see when they hit the line. Okay, it was indeed for 9th. Moving into the top 10 by Qualls will be Baran Oskus, one of the new rookies to the series. Levi McIntyre having a good run so far in 7th. I mean, the bottom line is the way to go at this racetrack. The veterans are showing they are not to be trifled with. Remember, right now, the entire top 6, aside from Keith Rich, those are all Cup Series drivers. They've already been to this track this year. And this series will progress through into the winter months and into January. And apparently someone spun on the front straightaway. There is no caution, and it was Philip Goldberg who went around. Nate Rogers possibly involved. So Goldberg's bid to defend this title continuing to go up in smoke. Remember, you can't have a lot of bad races here. In this series, it's a quick 14 races, start to finish. There's no playoffs. There's no reset. There's no catch-up. Goldberg not having a good run, and Nate Rogers involved in it as well. And it looks like Nate is going to actually pit here on lap 6, so his damage may be more than the 54. As Gardner leads, Keith Rich, Charles Sanford making moves on drivers. That puts Sorlin and Oskin to the top line of the racetrack. Remember, Keith Rich won the season finale last year at Homestead. So Rich will go by for second. It looks like Sanford will follow for third. So now Sorlin on a backtrack, or stuck on the top, I should say, him and Oskin. So this helps Deaver. Deaver's right here. Remember, it's a tight points battle right now, and every point matters here, even if it's only race 3. They matter more and more every week. Deaver benefiting on the bottom. Sorlin will get back in line behind the 8 of Sanford in 4th place. McIntyre in 5th. Now Gardner almost won the race here at Rockingham in the Cup Series event. However, a late pit strategy call forced them down pit road with about 10 to go. Now looking to get a bit of redemption, winning the race here in the Truck Series at this track. Points are very important right now, these first 3 races, especially when they head to Martinsville next week. Gardner continuing to hold on to the lead. Keith Rich, though, starting to catch up. Sanford, Sorlin as well. Levi McIntyre into the top 5. Deaver moves his way up into 7th. Hartnett has made it into the top 10, as has Diego Yepes, but he is under fire from John Nunn. There's last week's winner, Dylan Young, passing by Fitzwater. You see Oskin now making his move to the inside of Fitzwater. That is for 13th place. Battle is on for 10th between Nunn and Yepes, 2 drivers who are rookies in the Cup Series. Unknown if those 2 will return. See the 3 truck of Zach Rogers not doing so hot tonight. 27th place last time at the line. One bad run can quickly derail your season. Remember, there are not a lot of tracks where these drivers will have an easy way to avoid a wreck and make up ground. The next big one will probably be Denver after Martinsville, Pocono as well. The dirt tracks might be a little crazy, but Papyrus, Texas, Pensacola, Homestead. The last 4 tracks are sure to shake up everything. That's why the points now at the beginning of the season matter so much. Austin gets back to the bottom. He'll move up to 11th. Young falls down to 13th. Qualls is now running 14th. Gatlin Downey, Isaac Flickinger. Already on lap 16, green flag race so far. We're going to go back up to the front. Keith Rich beginning to put the pressure on the 51 of Johnny Gardner. Remember, pit strategy could get interesting here. We don't know if we'll see people pit. Maybe the ideal 2-stop strategy would be 26 to the end of the race. 1 stop, you're going to want to pit lap 39 to 41. Right now, tire wear does not seem to be as bad as the trucks. They've gone 17 laps, and it's only about a half a second right now. Sanford continuing, trying to hold off Sorlin. Top 7 have pulled away from the rest. Manuel Hartnett, Audra Baran-Oscus perhaps battling for position. As Hartnett passed her for 8th place. Fastest lap time on the race goes to the 93 of Oskin. See Keith Rich there in 3rd, Sanford 4th, Deaver 5th. We kind of skipped over him, but the 17, Connor Turpin, is sitting up here in 6th place. Turpin sits 38th in the points. He did not have a good race at Daytona, and he did not have a good race at Atlanta. Making up for it tonight. Long way to go if he wants a shot at this title. All over the bumper of Levi McIntyre in that 99 truck. Keith Rich, though, now all over the bumper of Johnny Gardner. Let's go on his roof cam. Trying to find some way to maybe get by the 51 of Johnny Gardner. 21 laps down in the race. 58 more to go. You see it. They do not have the same acceleration as the Cup drivers, or the Cup cars, that is. Top 4 though now starting to get really close together. Remember, aside from Keith Rich, this is Cup drivers right here in front and 2 behind. Levi McIntyre set to make his Cup debut in 2019. This is some needed experience for him here in the Truck Series. He's shown very good promise so far. McIntyre currently sits 29th in the points. He had a good run at Daytona. Got in that wreck at Atlanta. So McIntyre may be now showing that he has skill when he does not get taken out in an accident. Meanwhile, 8th to 10th still remain the same. Hartnett, Baran-Oscus, and Nunn. See, tire wear is really coming up now here. They're going to complete lap 24. These guys have now about a second fall off from their best laps of the race. Comers and goers are going to start to show. Oskin has made his way back up to 11th. Young has fallen to 17th. Zach Rogers up to 25th. Nate Rogers is 2 laps down. Philip Goldberg 19 seconds back from the leader. A total of 9 from Fitzwater. Fitzwater fell all the way to 38th after being in the top 10, so just got stuck on that top line and was never able to get into a hole. Keith Rich kind of now starting to fall away from Johnny Gardner. I just don't see any reason for anyone in this field to do a two-stop strategy. Very much seems that just splitting the race in half is all you're going to need to do. If you're near the front, pitting one lap later than the guy in front of you might be a pretty decent idea. The runs are pretty equal. Hartnett and the others behind him are nowhere close to gaining ground. It sounded like maybe someone went down pit road. It might have been the 31 of Sekuli. Indeed it was. So perhaps some drivers will try a two-stop scenario. So you go on the pit road 2 camera. No other takers. Not sure, maybe Sekuli has a problem. Keith Rich closing in on that back straightaway. Oh, actually I think we might see people coming down this time. Am I wrong? Cole Deaver is, I think. Or was he just running really low? No, he was just running really low. Never mind. I'm making something out of nothing. Bit of a split between Sanford and Sorlin. Gardner kind of running a bit lower. They're on lap 30. Would be a very short third stint if they all were to pit a couple laps earlier. Gardner does not want to make the same mistake that his team did in the Cup Series. Oh, Sekuli had a header go out and has taken the 31 truck out of the race. Sekuli entered the race tonight pretty good in the standings, 16th, so that is all going to go away. Depending where people below him in the points finish, he might just find himself outside the top 30. Nobody has been able to make any passes up here. Zach Rogers continuing to slowly move his way through the field. Let's take a look at the 3 truck. And there he is. They just went by, a handful of them just went by RJ Reynolds. Starting to fall back as Rowe makes a move on Edwin Mendez. Zach Rogers now leads this pack in 24th place behind Sam Young. Sam Young, the brother. Oh, is there a wreck? There's a wreck. John Nunn and Levi McIntyre got into it, and they're stopped, and Mendez is going to get into it. Charles Jackson's involved. Zachary Fitzwater, something has happened here. And that will change everything. I'm not quite sure what happened. It looks like, oh, wrong button. It looks like Turpin and Deaver were unaffected. I'm not seeing anyone else with damage up here. Oh, Diego Yepes has some damage on his hood. Something went wrong between McIntyre and the, who was it? Who was the other one? The 52 of Nunn? Or was it just McIntyre? I couldn't tell you. We gotta look at the replay. So let's see what happened to McIntyre. He was running in top 5. We're going along. He goes into turn 1 and boom, something just broke on his truck. And he just couldn't get to the bottom. There's Yepes making the contact, and he just stopped right on the track. And then Mendez, Reynolds, Charles Jackson nowhere to go, Fitzwater, Danny Jones. I think somebody else got a piece. I couldn't really see it. See, someone gets a piece here from the 10. 10 bounces down. Got into the 20 of James Ellison, though it didn't seem to be heavy impact. But look at John Nunn's truck get pounded up into the air. Very devastating for Levi McIntyre. The second failure of the night. Something may be amiss with the trucks. Two different manufacturers, though. But let's get you back to Green Flag Racing. Getting ready to go back, Green Flag Racing. RJ Reynolds and Levi McIntyre lap down. McIntyre's truck is continuing, so they must have fixed whatever went wrong. Edwin Mendez, the only one to retire from the race. New race leader, the 7 of Keith Rich. Sorlin back up to second. Sanford stays in third. Gardner falls to fourth. Deaver moves up to fifth ahead of Turpin, who falls to sixth. Oskin back up to seventh. Baran-Oskus in eighth. Hartnett in ninth. And James Qualls back in the top 10. Going through the rest of the field here. Yepes no longer has a hood. Goldberg really needed that break. He was running last, 9 seconds off the next car for position. So Goldberg, the defending champion, restarts 32nd. That'll benefit him a lot. Everyone's going high. Oh, the 33 is in the wall. That's Mike Turner. Down right into Goldberg. Goldberg around. Caution's out again. I do not know what put the 33 of Mike Turner in the wall. Just like that, the caution's right back out. I don't know if we're going to see these guys all pit again, if they can make it from here, what the deal is. Keith Rich maintained the race lead. Did anyone else change positions? Baran-Oskus did move up to sixth. Oh, and we're going to see differing strategies here. Keith Rich will come down the pit road. Sorlin's going to stay out. Sanford and others also going down. Let's see who out of the lead lap trucks stay out. Sorlin appears to be the only one at the moment. Along with 3-lap down trucks, McIntyre, Nate Rogers, and Reynolds. Oh, Sorlin is not alone. James Qualls will stay out. Colin Phillips, Sam Young, Diego Yepes, Danny Jones, and John Nunn. That appears to be it. So let's see what put the 33 of Mike Turner into the wall. Alright, so here we go. We're right on the restart. And he just centered too close to the wall. He might have gotten that dirty stuff up there. And it looks like RJ Bishop and Ace Rogers just about did the same thing. Mike Turner's still accelerating, though. He's up in the wall right there. Now it's pushing into the wall. He just came off the corner. Get a pretty good angle of it right here. If you look in the left there, comes off and Bishop just had nowhere to go, and straight down. That sends the 88 right into the 54. And hard left side impact for Goldberg. And so just when he thought his luck was turning, disaster occurs in front of him, and he is the one that gets put in the wall. With that said, let's take it to the race restart. Alright, we're going to get ready to go back Green Flag Racing, see if these drivers can keep it together this time. Goldberg stays in the race. Now, as we mentioned, top 7 drivers stayed out on track. They are Jonathan Sorlin, James Qualls, Colin Phillips, Sam Young, Diego Yepes, who has no hood, Danny Jones, and John Nunn. 8th place is Keith Rich, 9th Johnny Gardner, 10th Charles Sanford, Deaver, Hartnett, Young, Oskin, Turpin, Baran-Oskus, Downey, Flickinger, Hudson, and Shelton. That's the top 20. We'll see if the strategy pays off for the top 7 who stayed out, but if it is to pay off, they do not want a caution. Green flag back in the air. Let's see, can these guys keep their trucks out of the wall? And Yepes is going to be put 3 wide from the looks of things. I see more trucks in the wall back there. A lot of people riding the wall on the restart. Not really sure what these guys are doing. Keith Rich is the highest one up of those with fresh rubber. Cole Deaver has made it by Johnny Gardner. Almost 3 wide behind them. You can see some 3 wide in the back. Just watching all this craziness going on. Oh, and Deaver and others are almost wrecking each other as Danny Jones is going to pull down the pit, and he almost wrecks getting onto the apron. And now Deaver to the inside of Keith Rich. Up ahead, Sam Young has made his way into third. Qualls and Sorlin pulling away, battling by themselves, so Danny Jones did not think he was going to make it on fuel. And he is the first of the 7 who stayed out to pit. Sanford now moves up to 6th place ahead of Cole Deaver. Where is the other driver who stayed out? There was 7 of them already put into the back of the field, I presume. Who was it? I cannot recall who the other was that stayed out. Meanwhile, great battle for the lead here between Sorlin and Qualls. Nate Rogers catching up, but he is 2 laps down. Phillips in 3rd, Sam Young in 4th. Yepes doing a pretty good job without a hood, but Charles Sanford is there pushing the envelope. Sanford looking to get what would be his 2nd win of the season. Keith Rich got a pretty good run off the corner. He's 7th. Oskin has made his way back into the top 10. He's in 8th. Nathan Hudson in 9th. Moran Oscars in 10th as Zach Rogers has found himself up to 13th. Remember, he is also a driver battling up near the top 5 in the points as Cole Deaver is going to get put to the top by Jeff Bright. I'm trying to remember who it is up here that had also stayed on the track. Gardner has fallen all the way to 20th now. See, that's what happens when you get in these traffic situations. Perhaps it was only 6 trucks who had stayed out. Or was it John Nunn? John Nunn, I think, stayed out. Apparently he is under horsepower problems. Danny Jones pit. James Qualls to the race lead as the top 5 battling out. Sorlin now falling backwards. Yepes still holding on strong. Running behind the damaged 99 of Levi McIntyre. And the big thing holding up everybody behind Yepes is the fact that they are behind Yepes. This is what those guys up front that stayed out want to see, if they can make it on gas. Even though everyone behind them have the better tires, if they can't get by the 1 in the 99, it doesn't matter. Now Keith Rich going to be put up top. Oh, he really slid off a turn 2 there. Oskin to his inside. But Yepes is doing a pretty good job with older tires and no hood. Just remember, these tires are only about a lap or so older. Tire fall off does take a while to occur. Yepes is going to try and pass Levi McIntyre. He's going to get to his inside here. Battle up front still now as Phillips moves up to 2nd place. Trying to get by lap down truck Nate Rogers. If Qualls were to win the race, it would mean a different manufacturer winning each of the first 3 races. A Chevy at Daytona, a Ford at Atlanta, and a Toyota tonight. Right now, everyone close behind them, they're all Chevrolets. Qualls one of the few Toyotas in the field. But Phillips, Sorlin, and Sam Young will get by Nate Rogers. Yepes and the others made it by McIntyre, and now Sanford will power by the 1 of Diego Yepes, 2.5 seconds behind James Qualls. Oskin also right on his bumper in what is now 6th place. And they can see them in the distance. Phillips trying to catch up to Qualls. There's Danny Jones. John Nunn might be in the way. He is slow. These drivers still running single file. Let's see if Sanford gains any time. He does. 3/10. Those fresh tires are incredible here. 23 laps to go. Plenty of time to catch up, but remember, it's tough to make these passes. Hudson sits 7th, Hartnett 9th, Hartnett 8th, Baranoskis 9th, and Yep is still in the top 10 at the moment. Let's see if that changes here at the line. Yep, Jeff Bright now up to 10th. Keith Rich has fallen down to 11th, Devers there in 12th, Zach Rogers in 13th. Oskin right now looking to become the points leader. I believe. Yep, that is correct. Nobody else in the top 10 is close. In fact, the only ones that I see doing very good tonight is Deaver, Oskin, and Rogers. Let's see here. Jesse Turner, where's the 23 truck? I do not see Turner anywhere. He is 22nd, so he is not doing as good. So Oskin very likely will be the points leader if he can keep his good run up. Now these guys have caught Nate Rogers. It was 20 to go last time. It'll be 19 to go this time. If these drivers start fighting up here for this lead, Sanford is the one in the best position right now to win this race. It's now a second back from race leader James Qualls. And they're going to catch John Nunn, which could be even more disastrous. Sanford and Oskin have pulled away from Nathan Hudson. That's their Cup Series experience talking. And Phillips is going to make a move on James Qualls as they catch John Nunn, and Qualls is going to have to hit the brakes. Qualls trying to charge back middle corner, but Nunn's just there in the way. Now Oskin makes a move to the inside of Sanford. That's for 5th. Phillips will move past the 52. Sam Young's going to make it 3 wide. That's a move for 3rd, and that holds up Nate Rogers, but Nate is 2 laps down. That helps Sanford and Oskin get by the slow truck of John Nunn. Keith Rich still right there in 11th. There's Deaver, Zach Rogers, 12th and 13th. They're in their own little world. Nunn will continue to get past, as now Sanford all over the bumper of Sam Young passes James Qualls for 4th place. And just remember, those top 4 points are so important. 2 more points than 5th is in 4th. 3 more points in 3rd than 4th. Another 3 more points between 2nd and 3rd, and then another 4 points for the win. Getting the top 4 finish is very crucial. Sanford now going to make a move on their Sam Young. That's another 3 points for him. Oskin gets by the 50. That'll be 2 more for him. Now Nate Rogers in line. He might be 2 laps down, but he could be a wild card in all of this. And remember, we still don't know if these guys that stayed out can even make it to the end of the race. Phillips and Sorlin are 1st and 2nd. Thought someone might have been pitting, but I guess I was wrong. Sam Young still stuck up top. He's going to continue the fall back. This could bump Keith Rich into the top 10. Qualls has got back going in 5th. Unknown, though, how much of a threat he'll be with those older tires. Sam Young continuing to fall down the standings. Sanford now charging close to Jonathan Zorlin. Whereas Johnny Gardner gone, he is still falling. 24th place for Gardner. Traffic is a big issue here. And And it did not work in Gardner's favor, not what he wanted. Phillips still leads. Sorlin in second. Sanford's got to get by him fast here. They're coming to 11 laps to go. Oskin is also right there on Sanford's bumper. Sorlin was faster than Sanford that last lap. They're catching Danny Jones. Or are they? I don't know. He pitted. RJ Reynolds, Goldberg, Fitzwater, they might get caught. They are pretty off pace. There's the move for second by Charles Sanford, coming to 10 to go. I'll tell you what, this staying out strategy has worked very well if these drivers can make it on gas. Sorlin fighting back hard on the top side. It's just not going to be enough going into 3. Sanford will pass. Oskin will duck down to his inside. That's for third place. They will clear Jonathan Sorlin. Can he get back going in 4th? Ball still riding in 5th. Hudson all over his bumper in 6th. Jeff Bright has made his way up to 8th. Hartnett fell back to 10th. Sam Young falls outside the top 10. Nate Rogers, Qualls holding up all those guys back there. That's going to open a door for Brian Oscus for 6th place on Nathan Hudson. Nathan Hudson might be saying goodbye to a top 10 finish if things don't go his way right here. Sanford trying to find the way by Colin Phillips here with 8 to go. Ooh, pushed a little wide there. He might have left the door open for Oskin. Can he get back down in line? Oh, he slides up. That's going to help Colin Phillips. Sorlin's all over the bumper of the 93 truck. Oskin will clear for 2nd place, I believe. No, maybe not. And there he goes. Sanford going to battle back tough on the top of Sorlin. That's for 3rd. He'll fall back, though. 6 laps to go here at Rockingham. Colin Phillips trying to do the impossible win after staying out. Does Oskin have enough juice left in his tires to get up there and pass him? Does Phillips even have enough fuel in his truck? Battles are raging there for 4th place and on. Qualls is going to move back up in the 4th, passing by Charles Sanford. Oskin's just biding his time here. He knows he's got to make a move soon. Otherwise, Sorlin, who's slower than him, will make a move to his inside. And there's the move by Sorlin, or no, are they going to pit? Phillips, Sorlin, and Qualls, I believe, all just went down pit road. Indeed. They couldn't make it to begin with. And Moran Oscus has found herself in the 2nd place. Keith Rich now making his way, trying to get back up to 3rd. Zach Rogers in the top 10. But Oskin is gone. 3 laps to go for the 93 truck here. He's been winless in the Cup Series in 2018. Got that lone win at Sebring back in 2017. Could he go to victory lane here tonight at Rockingham in the Truck Series? He will be the first official Truck Series rookie to get a win. Baran Oscar showing no signs of catching the 93 truck. 2 laps to go. Let's see at the line. She's closing in, but not a lot. Charles Sanford there, back up to 3rd already. Keith Rich unable to pass the 8. He stays in 4th. Hudson 5th. Zach Rogers looking at a way to get a top 5. Deaver has fallen to 13th. White flag in the air. Bran Oscus has a bumper full of Charles Sanford. Nate Rogers is in the way. It does not look like anyone will get to Samet Oskin. Sanford trying to find some way by Baran Oscus for 2nd place. into turn 3 for the final time, and off of turn 4, it's going to be Sam Oskin winning the Truck Series event here tonight at Rockingham. That'll be Oskin's first career win in the Truck Series, his first of the season. And that should put the 93 truck into first place in the point standings. Baran Oscars will come home second, Sanford third, Keith Rich fourth, Nathan Hudson fifth, Zach Rogers sixth. Great run for him. He's top 3 in the points. Emmanuel Harton at 7th, Isaac Flickinger 8th, Jeff Bright 9th, and Alexander Rowe ends up in 10th. Johnny Gardner rebounded the 17th. Cole Deaver ends up 12th. So right now the main 3 to watch have been the 93, the 3, and the 07. So we'll see if their good luck running continues. We head to Martinsville next week. Even if they wreck, there's not going to be any caution flags. So that is it from me. I'll see you guys at Martinsville.